Another episode of Tipster Mike, and it's all about Brisbane.
How good's that? How good's Brisbane?
How good's Vegas, they call it.
Good joint.
Yeah, and the Doomben 10,000 headlines a great card up there at Doomben, just across the road from Eagle Farm, where they'll be in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, fantastic.
So very exciting indeed.
It's going to be a fill-up, I reckon. We've got to fill up ahead for the punters.
Fill up ahead. Look, we've got some interesting stats to come up, and we'll get into that, what's coming up in the show.
Yep.
So we're going to start with the Doomben Experts. We're going to look at the long-term Doomben Experts. Some absolute guns in this list.
Who to follow?
Who to follow.
Yep, absolutely.
Hang around for that. Don't leave a segment here, because then we roll into Streaker of the Week.
Gibbo.
Yep. The popular Gibbo. He's all over Twitter sphere. Punters love him, and there's a good reason why. So we're going to tell punters why, and he gives us some absolute pearls.
Yeah, and a best bet.
And a best bet.
Yeah.
So yeah, early mail.
Coming early.
We've got some new stuff coming up too, Mike. So obviously about tipsters and how they're doing, but also about what tipsters do to find their winners and all the tools and so forth.
Yep.
So as part of that, we're going to do a Doomben track watch. So we're bringing out some really interesting stats about last time they raced with this setup.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at the importance of staking. So we're going to drill down
Hugely important.
Yeah, very important.
Look forward to that.
Yeah, so we drill down to best stats. So do not go away. Some great stuff. Remember, this is a program, but you can go through the chapters here if you're watching this on YouTube and go to your favourite chapter. And also, don't forget to subscribe. It's a little button down below here where you're watching on YouTube, and you'll be notified as soon as this show drops. So Doomben it's all about Doomben, Mike.
Yep.
Brisbane. Just then, we had to stop shooting because we got a delivery, and I've just got to poke back here and just see what it's all about. This came through, and it's for you. And I'll just read the tag here. It's from to Michael Gannon from a guy called Michael Charge. And apparently you gave him a bit of a bash a few episodes ago, and he said to enjoy them, and you must drink them while you punt.
Okay.
On Doomben Racing on Saturday, mate. So that's from Michael Charge.
Sounds fantastic.
So
Thanks, Chargy.
So a nice intro, of course, to our Doomben Experts.
Yeah.
You're going to open one now. Don't forget old mate over your shoulder, mate. He might want as well.
Horsey.
So there we go.
Cheers, mate.
It's actually warm, by the way. I don't think it's too cold.
Tastes better warm.
Just come from the courier. So thanks, Chargy, for that. So here we go, Mike. Let's have a look at this leaderboard. We've cut the numbers and said who's been making money at Doomben over 365 days.
Yeah.
Up the top there, we saw this guy a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
JustWins.
Boys are flying.
He's flying. And
if you want to cash their tips Saturday morning, they're always putting their tips out. About 10, 20 tips out last week.
Yeah. On the greattipOff.com, and they're also
in a free best bets article as well.
Yeah,
so
free,
they're
you get
there
the
to
free
go.
best bet.
Get one best bet, chime in, back it.
Nice.
But the boys are flying. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing, and interesting enough, when we featured them last couple of weeks ago, they actually said Doomben's their favourite track.
Yep.
All about speed maps. You sort of put that stuff together and you think, wow, like, you know, they're probably set for a good one, but always bet responsibly, of course, but they're probably set for a good one.
If you have to.
Adam Williams from Best Bets.
Yeah, a bit of a veteran.
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
Winning posts.
Yeah, 10 years of winning post / best bets.
Yeah.
It's sort of the same stable, but a different stable.
10 years is good. That means if I can get the 10 years, that'll be fantastic. Hey, what's the chances? Millions.
Yeah, look, I'm not making any comment at all on that, Michael. Braz appears again. Braz appears.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
Yeah, it's not the Brazzle show.
It's not the Brazzle show,
Yeah.
just like it was in the Metho Man show a couple of weeks ago.
But how about this man?
Rick Morris.
My mate Rick Morris.
Tell us about Rick.
Bit of an inside word on Rick. He's going to be at the track on Saturday.
Is that right?
Yeah, so just look out for a man with all the cash, just with big wads of cash, a cold Forex, and that'll be Rick.
But not even from Queensland.
Not even from Queensland.
He's from Mexico.
He's a Victorian.
He's a Melburnian.
Yeah, but he's a gun, Rick. He puts in a lot of time, a lot of effort. He does a lot of great work for the site, and yeah, I follow Rick's mail. I think he's one of the better judges. So get out there and follow him. Great chance to jump on his hot bets as well. They'll be out Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
He puts his links out on Twitter. Get behind him. He'll make a bit of coin out of that as well. And he's one of the gurus.
I mean, the good thing there, just looking at some of those stats, I mean, over 200 tips for all these guys we're featuring here, and double-digit profit, and that's using starting price. And we'll talk about this more through the shows coming up. But if you're doing that with starting price, if you're getting an average fixed odds price, you're more than likely going to be doing a lot better.
Absolutely.
The last one, but certainly not the least on that list, is Blair Gibbo Gibson.
Yeah.
We're going to talk more about Gibbo in a sec.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll leave it to then. But these are the guys you want to look out for amongst the other people tipping, and you can find them all at thegreattipoff.com. So we featured Blair Gibbo Gibson in our 365-day. Well, hang on a minute. I reckon Chargy won't mind if I have one. So I'm going to get into one. Mate,
knock yourself out. It's fantastic stuff.
Mate, this is the only stuff you can drink apparently in Queensland. I think he tells me this is all they're selling at Doomben on track. But anyhow.
So we got Blair
That's
Gibson,
Chargy.
Streaker of the week.
Streaker of the week. He basically in 2021 hasn't missed a month. Profitable each and every month. We spoke on the last slide. 365 days, 10%.
Huge.
Profit. Now, that's not using starting price. It even gets better. We've been recording Blair's tips or Gibbo's tips since 2019, and he's 7% pot since then. So, lifetime career profit maker at Doomben. Wouldn't have a better stat going into the carnival. So,
and even more impressive, he's done it with his clothes off. So that's fantastic.
He's done it with his clothes off.
Streak of the week.
Streak of the week.
Come
of course.
on, mate.
There we go. Sorry, mate. It's that 4X. It starts hitting you, mate. You lose what you're thinking about. So we thought, what a great time to have a chat with Gibbo.
Yeah.
So we got him on the phone.
How you going, Gibbo?
Yes, good. Thank you very much, Damien. Michael, thanks for having me.
Mate, good to have you on, mate. You've been in some pretty good form of late.
I think it's Doomben that we focus on. That's the Doomben and Gold Coast where I excel. You can keep Eagle Farm.
Yeah, just across the road, but a world of difference, eh?
100%.
I mean, look, having said that, Doomben certainly is one area where your stats really pop out of the page. I mean, it's very, very steady, solid profit showing there since we've been recording tips all the way back in 2019, mate. So certainly, Track Expert is the right label there. Look, we thought just ahead of the big carnival kicking off on Saturday, Gibbo, whether or not you could sort of share some of that intel with the punters in particular. What should punters be looking for at Doomben on Saturday, mate?
Yeah, look, always with Doomben, it's just the starting points because it's a much tighter track than Eagle Farm. And the starting points from the 1,050 and the 1,100 are both dynamite. So very, very short runs. Unless you're a horse like an Eduardo or, there might be a couple that can clear fields. You're just not going to. You just put a line through from double-figure gates most of the time, to be honest. Even the 1,200 isn't a long run, and the 1,600 actually starts on a corner. So starting points, which obviously then work into your maps, but that is clearly the most important thing with Doomben. If you get your maps right, you'll be winning.
Huge. That's great information, mate. We'll be sure to keep an eye out for that. Look, in Sydney, we've got a number of jockeys that ride leaders and on-pace run as well. Probably in particular, Timmy Clark sort of springs to mind there. If us punters that sort of focus on Sydney and Melbourne looking for a jockey in a similar mould in Brisbane, who would you recommend us following?
I would say similar mould. Jimmy Byrne's an aggressive rider, so he really suits a track like Doomben if he can park up near speed or just off the speed. I think he's striking about 19% in the last 6 months at Doomben, but the jock I'd follow, he's on a comeback trail, is Bailey Nordiff. I think he's as good as anyone we've had in Queensland for a long time, and he's sort of the opposite Eagle Farm. He's the most patient rider we've got, and just follow Bailey whatever he gets during the carnival and on his comeback path.
Huge push. Thanks for that, mate. So, look, with the Doomben 10,000 barrier draw out, you got Splintex and Wild Ruler both drawn soft, and you mentioned Eduardo before, probably likely to burn across, mate. Firstly, how do you see that race playing out? And secondly, who do you have coming out on top?
Yeah, I think you've got it right there. Splintex and Wild Ruler will get nice runs. Look, I've gone with Eduardo. A lot of people have got him setting a land speed record. I don't think they have to go that fast at all. He's got a cruising speed that gets them uncomfortable anyway, and I just think Nash will swing off him. I think he'll be 3 or 4 in front at the 100, to be honest. So even if he gets tired, I don't think they'll run him down. I just think he's too good. I think he's the class runner. And look, I think a horse like Trekking, it was just, you look at the sectionals, they were as good as anything in the last 200, he just blew out. So I think he'll improve second up. And then others for exotics, you got Vega 1, Wild Planet, Wild Ruler. But I think Eduardo from Trekking probably.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. That's a good push.
There we go. The mail doesn't get earlier than that. So, hey, thanks, Gibbo. And just before we go, mate, where can punters, obviously racing.com, your tip selections and intels on the site. Obviously, other places where punters can get your intel across various tracks in Brizzy/Queensland. Can you give us a quick list of that, mate, where punters can go to get your info?
Yeah, I'll do. I do the Race Club on Wednesdays, and then I'll do the Gold Coast Turf Club. They race pretty much every Saturday. So there's you just go to their website there, gctc.com.au, and then I do some Fridays and every Saturday for racing.com. So might be a bit more coming for racing.com in the future too, hopefully.
Good, I'm sure the punters will be happy to hear that. Hey, Gibbo, all the best, mate. You probably don't need too much luck there, mate, the way things are going for you. But, look, all the best on the punt, mate. We really appreciate your time. I'm not sure punters will be stoked to get that early mail, mate.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it, and thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome, mate. Thanks.
So as we said at the start of the show, Michael, we're not just focusing on tipsters, but we're also focusing on the tools, techniques and so forth they use to get in front, right?
Yeah.
And part of that is taking a deep dive into track analysis and looking back in history and seeing how it played, etc.
Yeah, exactly. Look, historical data plays a big part in most form analysts' work, going back, checking out the previous setup of the track. Up here we have the rail out half a metre, pretty close to what it was, what it will be on Saturday, soft 6, which we predicting probably what we'll get on Saturday as well. Yep. And just sort of assessing how the track played, what bias there was, and what role the track sort of played in the outcomes of the day.
Yeah.
And on that day, back on the 27th of March, it was pretty much as you'd expect Doomben to play. There's a couple of, I think three leaders got up, and I think there was a little bit of on-pace stuff. But as we just heard from Gibbo, you come to expect that.
No, absolutely. And look, what we're looking at here, this snapshot, is really saying, look, last time we had this setup, and we've taken a bit of a guess on the track condition. There's going to be a bit of a rain on Wednesday.
Pretty close.
Then it's going to dry out. It was a soft 6 before, soft 5, soft 6. So we're looking at soft 6, roughly the rail in the true position.
Yep.
This is what happened. Did the bookies win or did the punters win?
Punters had a fill up.
Punters had a fill up.
5 and 9 favourites.
5 and 9 favourites.
Yep.
Just in terms of where the price movements went, pretty much stayed even. That means they were within a 15% blow or shortening range. 1 short and 2 blue. So the thing also too on that average price of the winners, $6.84.
Yeah.
Now there was actually one
big price
$30
winner,
pop or so forth.
So
So most of them in that $3 to $7 range.
So what's the moral of the story?
Moral of the story is
Follow the market.
very predictable. Last time we had that setup.
Yep.
So, is the market going to be telling the same story this time? You can never be sure, but this is your best guide as to how the track will play and if it will be as predictable as it was last time.
Fantastic.
So, Mike, we're calling this segment Best Bet Bangers. You like that name?
if you will.
Yeah, Best Bet Bangers. Look, it's actually an interesting insight, this one. A lot of punters, you hear the pub talk and they'll say, so-and-so couldn't tip to save his life. People
couldn't
in the
tip
media.
a greasy sausage off a plate.
That's
one of
it.
those,
Couldn't greasy sausage off a plate.
And look, they got a tip in every race.
They've got a tip in every race. They're
to
obligated to tip in every race.
That's it.
Their best bets are probably the closest thing you'll get to what they're backing themselves.
Yep.
And look, they'll probably back other stuff as well. I mean, we see it through staking plans that come through the site where
Yep.
these tipsters actually put their information on their site
Yeah, Brad
exclusively to us.
Davidson is a big one for that.
So in terms of what he puts on Sky,
His
yes,
staking.
he'll put his own staking plan up. We get
Yep.
Dean Lester, Mark Hunter, and so forth.
Yeah.
But for those others, we've got the best bets, which GTO captures,
Yes.
as well as their standard tips. So we've got a look here at really the difference between if you just put $100 on each tip,
Yep.
or if you doubled up on their best bet.
Yeah.
And just taking a look at a couple of examples of what that difference would look like.
Yeah, so we've got Chris Nelson there.
Chris Nelson.
From Best Bets.
Yeah, look, let's start with Chris because, hey, interesting. Melbourne, he went to Queensland, but focuses on Queensland expert,
What an upgrade.
Brisbane. Yeah, he's he lives on Sunshine Coast too. So, I think we
joint.
see his tweets come out, and I think most of us are saying, "Look, please,
Living the dream.
we're not there. time out.
Yeah. So what are we doing here? We're basically following his bets and putting more on.
Yeah, so if you double up on his best bets, and you can find this on the site, and we'll talk to that more in a second.
Yeah.
This is the sort of cash you'd have made if you put $100 using starting price
Easy.
on all his tips in the last 7 days. If you just took them for an even stake, you made $1,780, that $1,780. If you double up on the best bet, then you're basically doubling it and some. So 3,620.
Complete fill up. Who else we got?
So we're also looking at Tony Brazel. And Tony Brazel's a very similar story, right? So again, over the last 30 days, if you would have just put $100 on each one of his tips. Now remember, Tony's tipping in every race on a Wednesday, just about in all the
45,000 tips a week. Yeah,
and he's doing it in the same on Saturday.
So here's a guy that you probably just you want to have a bet here and there, but on other things, race to race. But here's a guy you probably just want to chime in on his best bets, focus heavy on those. And for me anyway, if I was to be following someone like him, I think that's a great way to play it.
No, exactly.
We're looking at like $4,000, nearly $3,500 more in profit there by following those best bets.
Tripling your profit if you just double up on his best bets. And look, a lot of punters, putting my hand up here, I want to be involved at every race, can't watch one go around. So the message here is chip up, maybe, in terms of following Tony or following a Chris. Or look, most tipsters, they're putting their focus on their best bets. So
without a doubt.
Big lesson here. How do you find it on the site?
Go to the search bar, type in the name. And?
Well, that's to find the tips.
I don't know, mate. You tell me, though.
When we go to the leaderboard, there is a staking drop down.
Oh, that's
and then you can either take
the beer's got to me.
Actual. Yeah, it's the 4X. We'll blame charge you again.
Yeah.
Charge your fault, mate. Look, to do that, you go to actual stake. And that'll show you what the profit looks like.
Fantastic. And you can do that over 30 days, 90 days.
Yeah, all the stuff you can do, 180, 365. So stakes are important. We're going to talk a lot more about stakes. There's a lot of tools we've got here at the GTO around staking. A lot of information that comes through the site around actual staking. Tipsters who will leave races, let races go and have multiple runners in races. We'll talk more about that later.
Fantastic.
Right now, you can find out what the stake looks like if you double up on their best bets, and we're just giving you 2 examples. So that's a wrap, Mike. Getting ready for the big Doomben 10,000 on the weekend.
Can't wait.
Before we go into the blurb at the end, Mick's moral.
Eduardo. I'm not copying Gibbo. I did declare it before we spoke to him, but now we've spoken to him. Look, I think he put the case forward. I think you get $2.20 at the moment. Just double down, load up, fill your boots.
We've got evens on the board up here, mate.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
just take whatever you get.
It'll
be starting $1.90. That'll do.
Yeah, look, it's going to be hard to run down. Definitely hard to run down. Look, I mean,
who are you following? Other than me.
Yeah, other than you. I followed Mick's moral at Gosford last week, by the way. But look,
on a run of outs, mate.
What are you going to do? Tough track to get him right at.
Yeah.
Look, Rick's for me. I'm going to follow Rick. Look, Rick, we obviously get to talk to Rick a bit more than what punters see through the site and so forth. And look, great judge. I mean, if you're looking for someone to follow, you're not sure, Rick Morris is definitely someone to look up.
About 11, 12 tips as well, and he has got comments there. And
knows his stuff, and he says, and look, sure, he's one of our stable, but and look, we give a lot of...
And if you see him there, buy him a beer.
Buy him a beer, we appreciate it.
Send us a photo.
It's a Carlton he likes, doesn't it? Carlton draft.
Yeah, probably anything.
Absolutely.
We'll give him a Carlton.
Absolutely. But look, before we go, don't forget, subscribe to this show. Drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you on the comments tab down below on the YouTube page.
Yeah.
And as always, enjoy your punting. And hey,
if you're offended by the 4X, send in your beer recommendations. We'll give it a shot next week as well.
Exactly. And if you want to send a 6-pack like Chargy did,
do your
we'll
best.
take that as well.
Cheers.
Good punting.